Hey guys, and welcome back to the Totally Random Talk Show. So today we're gonna do a little bit of a quicker episode with about like 3 or 4 topics, and we're just gonna kind of jump right into it and pick the topics as we go, and it should be really fun. So let's go ahead and kick ourselves off with the first topic. Max, would you like to choose?
Yes. Now, okay, so I have to give some context for this topic because I kind of have it in my mind, and the word is amateur. And the reason I want to
Hmm.
talk about this is because I've been listening to this podcast called Words for Granted, where they talk about the history of words, and they talked about this word, and I thought it was really interesting. So, just to give a quick background of the word amateur, nowadays it could mean you are inexperienced at something, right? Or unprofessional. You could be an amateur
Hmm.
at something, and that means you're not the best at it. Or it could mean that you do something without getting an income from it. So if I was really good at piano, but I didn't get paid for it, I could be an amateur pianist. So I guess my question for you is what do you think you're the best amateur at?
I would probably have to say piano in that case, not wanting to try or and bandwagon or anything, but um, I consider myself a very good amateur pianist because I don't want to get paid, and I don't think that if I were to get paid, I would deserve the money because like I don't know, piano is like it's one of those things where I do it purely out of enjoyment, not out of like income or status at all. But on the other hand, I feel like I am quite the amateur at computers and hardware, like parts and components, because I know things about them, but I don't know everything. I know like the bare bones basics, and that's like fine, but at the same time, it's not very much.
Yeah.
So in your case, I'm assuming for the first part, amateur would be piano as well.
Yeah, I'd say, well, it's hard to really know because I guess it depends on how you see an amateur, like, right? Because really, realistically, I could list off tons of things, right, that I don't get paid for,
Mhm.
but I enjoy doing, eating food, sleeping, but that's kind of that's not the type of stuff that you want. But I'd say other than piano, I like creating things digitally. Like I don't know how to explain. I guess digital media, yeah. So like I use Illustrator to make our covers for episodes,
Mm,
to make the logo. I use Premiere Pro to edit videos, and that's how we made our trailer, by the way, new trailer. You should go check it out.
it's
Um,
pretty cool, guys.
and so I'd say I'm amateur in both senses, where I don't get paid for it, and I'm getting there with the skills, but I'm not a professional either in the sense where like I know everything because
Hmm.
no one really knows everything, to be honest. But
Yeah, it's true.
but there's a certain point where you cross over from being inexperienced or knowing little about a subject to knowing everything about it. So like one example, I guess, could be we're professionals at the English language. We fluently speak it. Maybe there's words we don't know, but we literally speak it as a first language. So I feel like that makes you professional of the language, right?
Yeah, it would make sense. And I guess adding on to that, I said that like I'm an amateur at like hardware components and things because I don't know a lot about it. But the funny thing is, and this kind of goes along with what you were saying about digital media and production and Illustrator and Photoshop. Um, the funny thing for me is I so I uh, went thrifting and I found an Xbox 360 for $10. And I thought to myself, wow, I got a steal. And I bring it home, and lo and behold, the disk drive doesn't work, which is the part of the machine that reads disks. And I'm like, oh, okay, I'll figure out how to fix it. And I fixed it a couple of days ago, and now it works fine and perfectly. But I went into it knowing not very much, if not nothing at all, about what I was doing. And I was able to figure it out. And so I guess you could say like I'm very much an amateur at that, but like it's a learning curve thing where I'm like learning more about components and hardware the more I actually try and fix things. So I'll
Yeah.
definitely be doing that again. Not with that Xbox, but
See,
like if something breaks.
maybe you could fix my Wii. The disk drive on that doesn't read discs.
Oh, yes, yes.
I think it just needs cleaned. It's one of those things because the Wii is
Yeah,
older and it has always had an issue with that where it
pretty
gets
old.
dirty and can't read discs after a while. I want
Yeah.
me some Wii Sports, man.
Gotta get my Wii Sports fix.
It's been years. So yeah, I think that's interesting. And I think you brought up a good point where we can always learn more. And I feel like there's power in being able to learn something on your own because tutorials could be nice or other things like that, but a lot of the time that's just somebody telling you how to do something. When you really figure out something on your own, then I feel like that has a true power to to stick in your life as a skill or as something you know, because it's just something you've done on your own, right? It's an accomplishment.
Like,
Yeah.
I really like that. Um, and it's very true because like when I pulled apart that Xbox the first time, I was like really nervous and I didn't want to break anything. So I literally watched a YouTube video on how to take a Xbox 360 apart. And by the end of like my repairs, I could put that thing together like without even thinking about it. Like I just know where things go and like I know the entire inner workings of an Xbox 360 now.
That's
And
awesome.
it's a weird bragging right, but you know what? I'll have it.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's definitely more interesting and a lot better in my opinion to learn for yourself rather than like
Mhm.
try and well be taught and then I don't know. Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, I don't know. I guess that's everything I have on that kind of subject, amateur
No,
versus
that's good. I
professional.
because like
Yeah.
I never thought about the fact that like amateur is a double meaning word.
Hmm.
And so that like that was a really good perspective on the word. So
Actually,
I really liked that.
that just reminded me of one other thing that was mentioned on the podcast, which by the way is a great podcast. I'm saying that just because I love it. Um,
It's so good.
yeah, but he said on the podcast that amateur comes from the word amor for love in Latin and now other Romance languages. And so originally it meant someone who loves doing something or someone who adores
Mm,
something. So you could be a lover of something by being an amateur. And I think it's important to remember that there's always different meanings to words, and especially that word could have a negative meaning or unprofessional or a positive meaning where you're good at something just because you like it.
that's really cool actually. And I did not know that. So wow.
Hmm.
Okay. Shall we move on to our next topic?
Yes.
So I'm gonna go ahead and pick a topic that's not gonna be very insightful, like amateur. It'll be something completely random because we all know how this goes. Let's talk about goldfish, whether that be the snack or the fish.
The snack that smiles back.
The fish don't smile back. They like
You
always
do.
frown.
Although, mm, I don't know, they're probably happy once you decide to not eat them all in one sitting.
That's true.
You have
That's true.
you have the big bag and you're eating a little, and they're like, okay, finally, he's done for now.
I always find it funny that like when I go to like Petco or some like store where they have animals, I always like walk over to the goldfish and they're like the cheapest fish there. And I'm like, oh man, a goldfish is 30 cents. I should get a goldfish. And then I remember that goldfish die in like 2 days.
Although, if you let a goldfish roam free in the wild, it literally will get huge.
Yeah, they're gigantic.
And they're kind of like destructive as well. Like they are not great for the environment, to be honest.
They're super fat when they're
Yeah,
big. It's kind of scary.
just because they have so much food. They're literally just like, give me more. I want
That's
more.
that's why we control the amount of food that we give our fish. Because if
Yes.
you just let a beta fish go out in the wild, it would become like a killer whale or something.
Yeah.
That would be terrifying. So I don't know. Goldfish are kind of weird just because like there's a bunch of different variations. They're really small, but they can get really big. And also, when I went to the store, the pet store a couple days ago, I saw like this weird like see-through goldfish where you could like literally see
What?
its stomach and like all of its internal organs. And I was like, what am I looking at? An amoeba? Like, what is this?
I need to look this up.
It was so scary.
See-through goldfish?
And it had like black
What?
eyes. Like the eyes were just straight pure black with like a transparent like skin tone. And oh, it was so creepy.
What in the world? I
It's terrifying.
Wait a minute. I think I found it. Okay, so I'm gonna share my screen. No one else will be able to see this, but if you Google see-through goldfish, I th
Yep, that's
yeah,
that's what it is.
it
It's literally the
what?
eye just looks like a dot of like
Death.
black food coloring that's like not even moving around. Like it's terrifying. I
That's
don't even know how to describe
literally, oh man,
it. Ugh,
that's not
that's
the best.
creepy.
And then of course it comes up with normal pictures of goldfish to compare. Um,
That's so scary. I don't like it. Yeah. See-through goldfish are like um they're terrifying.
yeah, that's
That's all I can say. So, anyways, on a lighter note, let's talk about like the food goldfish,
yeah.
because those are actually yummy and pleasing to look at and eat.
And literally, I think it's just like cheese.
Yeah, and they're not see-through, so I'm happy with that.
That would be actually cool though if they did have
A
that.
see-through goldfish.
Okay, yeah, wait, let's see what the ingredients are. So they got flour, excuse me, vegetable oil, salt, milk, yeast, sugar, baking soda, paprika, spices. Okay, um, so I'm assuming in here is the cheese with the milk and stuff. Um, Pretty much you could make these at home, probably. It'd be kind of weird, but yeah, interesting.
Yeah. Huh. I mean, I've heard like of people making homemade recipes for goldfish, but I never thought it was like that easy.
It
But
probably has
no,
some
no,
weird
it's
like
it is
secret
that easy.
chemicals or stuff in them.
Probably. We don't talk about those.
We have uranium in our goldfish crackers.
We have europium, americinium, and einsteinium in our goldfish.
Those are unstable and made in a lab. That would literally be impossible. But hey, good for trying.
I just think that it's so sad that like they had zero creativity when making the new elements in the labs. They were like, let's name this one europium after Europe, and this one einsteinium after
Americanium.
Einstein. Americanium is literally America. I'm like, what are you guys doing? Like, ugh. And then you what is it? Bohrium, like
Yeah.
after the scientist Bohr.
Well, literally everything's named after a scientist at this point.
Yeah, except for aluminium and a lot of other ones. A lot of other ones.
Yeah, oxygen, zinc, helium, just to name a few. There's literally like if you just look at the periodic table, there's probably most of them, except for the last ones that are again made in a lab.
Yeah, they're kind of scary. No, they're really scary.
Yeah. Well, yeah, aren't they unstable mostly?
Yeah, and they're very hard to create too. We don't see a lot of it because it's unstable and it's also a difficult element to produce. So,
Yeah.
fun facts about the periodic table of the elements. So fun. I wonder what goldfish would be on. Magnesium.
Probably, yeah, I don't know.
It has magnesium in it, I think, or iron. Has little amounts of iron.
Calcium because of milk
Oh yeah. You guys, fun fact, food has iron in it, but it's actually good for you because you need iron
or
in your body, in
blood
your
has
bloodstream.
iron. we're made up of water and vitamins and minerals.
Yeah. You have little amounts of rock in you, like little rocks.
You rock. Yeah.
You rock, literally.
Uh-huh.
Oh my gosh. Uh,
Oh man.
this is pretty bad. So, um, out of all the goldfish, which one is your favorite? Not the ones that are alive, but like the goldfish that's yummy with cheese.
Um, I'd say the cheddar blasted, the ones that have the extra flavor.
Mm,
You pick them up and instantly your fingers are coated in just cheese dust. And
and
then you
it's
realize
beautiful.
that your life choices have gone wrong because you've eaten the whole bag in one sitting and your fingers are absolutely just destroyed, completely orange for weeks on end. You can't wash it off. It does not. No, just kidding. It probably comes off. But yeah, the cheddar blasted ones are the best because you get the extra flavor and
That's
like
true.
you have the dust. Like you don't have that on the normal ones. I don't
Yeah.
know. I kind of like that.
I love the cheddar blasted too, and I think it's top notch. But like the one goldfish that gives me like the highest amount of nostalgia is the colors goldfish.
Yes.
Like I remember having those in like lunches and like eating those as a kid, thinking it was so cool that my goldfish were colored. And it's natural colors too, not the artificial food coloring. So for those of you who don't like food coloring,
Or
it's a
some
win-win.
people can't have some like red food color.
Yeah. Like I think they color it with spinach, beetroot, and
It's beat.
carrot. Gotta love those beets.
Dwight Schrute is happy.
He loves his color goldfish, but he only eats the red.
I mean, actually, that would sound like Dwight, to be honest.
I only eat the red goldfish, nothing
Jim,
else.
Jim, put down the purple goldfish. Put it down.
Put it down now. I could
Grabs,
see that happening.
grabs out his nunchucks from behind the wherever he hid them, and he's like,
He has a katana in the rafters.
yeah, he's got at least 50 weapons in the building. Like this
Yeah,
guy, how do you first of all, how do you buy all of those? How much money have you spent? Second of all, how in the world do you hide them without people noticing? And third, when do you think you're gonna need to use those in a paper business? What? Gonna
the
cut
guy
paper?
is just thinking 10 billion steps ahead, you know?
In spoiler alert for like what season two, I think, or something like that. But pepper spray saves the day at one point. Um,
True.
yeah, but man, Dwight, he needs to he needs to check what.
He needs to sort out his priorities.
Yeah, exactly.
And he's got to calm down. I think he has ADHD.
Probably he probably has also some like other sort of disorder that I don't know.
He
Like,
just really likes beats and weapons.
is there a disorder that makes somebody want to always be violent but also be sensible?
Probably.
So
There's
basically,
probably one
he's
out
basically a
there.
psychopath because think about it. He thinks through what he's doing, but he still does like ridiculous things. This
That's
guy.
so funny. Oh my gosh. That's a good show.
Yes.
Well, I think that's mostly what we have on goldfish as a topic.
Yeah. And
So,
I don't think there's anything else we have.
no. Are you ready?
Shall we choose a third topic, perhaps?
Yes, we shall.
For the third topic, we will be talking about I don't know what is hmm maybe we could talk about why school is hard and why calculus is why.
That's my favorite topic.
No,
School is hard because it sucks.
sometimes.
Some other times it's kind of actually fun,
See, if school for us it starts at 7:45. If it started at 8:45, I think I'd be good.
but it starts so early.
Like like who decided that? They're like, oh yeah, these are the group that needs the most sleep out of young people is going to wake up earlier. And I guess it's
It's
probably
kind of
mostly
weird.
so that like in high school, the kids who could get a job could actually have a job after school because you have like because school ends around 2, so then you
Mhm.
don't have like conflicts with that, I guess. But also that seems like a weird reason.
What's funny? This has nothing to do with like actual school curriculum, but more to do with school food. But I don't know if you've ever heard of food theory before.
Oh
Um,
yeah.
yeah, I was watching a food theory video that he did, uh, and we don't endorse food theory at all, but it was just really cool video. Anyways, I was watching this video, and it was talking about like the theory of like food in schools being like toxic probably and dangerous. But the real truth is that's not true at all. Like it's totally normally fine. Like it's edible food. Like it just doesn't taste good because it doesn't have artificial like flavorings and things that people like. That's why it tastes different. But anyways, it was funny because he was talking about how like lunches came to be, and it came around in the 40s because people had like a surplus of like dairy products, and they also needed kids to get like uh more built so that they could go fight in the army.
Bill.
So they're like, let's just give them this surplus of dairy products and serve them food in school so they can get and they can come and fight for us in the war. And
Mhm.
so that's what they did. And then the USDA was like trying to make sure that kids had like two servings of vegetables and fruit. But then like we all know what kids do with the two servings of vegetables and fruit. They throw it away. So the USDA is like the most expensive thing, which is the produce that we're giving them. So like apples and bananas that cost a lot to purchase, the most, in fact, they were getting thrown away. So they're like, how can we reduce waste? Well, let's count ketchup packets as servings of vegetables. And so that's what they did. So to get one serving of vegetables, you would need to eat 9 packets of ketchup.
And that's also your daily amount of sugar, probably.
Yeah, but doesn't seem like they care. So, yeah, fun fact about school food. It is fine and safe to eat. The only reason why it tastes a little weird or you may not like it is because it's just plain food. Like it doesn't have artificial flavoring in it. The reason why you like your McDonald's Big Mac so much is because they literally like develop the flavoring in a lab. And they're like,
Yeah,
oh, this tastes good.
the
We'll give
Mickey
it to
D laugh.
people. The McDonald's
Bruh.
Milwaukee.
They literally have like on their lab coats, it's just the McDonald's M, and they're like, "We're loving it. Put some chemicals in like in a beaker, start
Time
boiling.
to put some europium and einsteinium
All right,
inside of the
Johnny,
burgers.
which chemicals we're using today? The ones that give you cancer, the ones that give you birth defects."
They're both about the same.
Yeah, equal amounts of both. All right, give me the gallon bucket. We're making a big batch today.
Oh goodness.
Okay, wait, actually, we could probably get sued for that. This is a joke.
McDonald's, no.
McDonald's, we don't know anything about your secret lab that's actually in Indiana.
Your secret is safe with us.
Wait, I just realized Indiana is where Stranger Things takes place.
What?
If I remember
McDonald's, what are you
correctly,
doing?
where's Stranger Things? Is it Indiana? I'm pretty sure.
It's a little spooky.
Yes.
It's a little spooky. McDonald's, what are you doing? McDonald's created the Demogorgon.
Although I actually don't know if there even is where the lab is, but yeah, it's a
But they
joke.
do have a lab. That's how they make their food taste yummy.
It's probably not in Indiana.
It's probably like somewhere really weird where they won't get sued. Maybe it's on a boat in
Or you
international
know what?
waters.
That's fine. Where's the McDonald's lab? Um, let's see, McDonald's and new innovation hub at Chicago headquarters. So in Illinois, which is actually pretty close to Indiana. I was close,
So
okay?
it's in Chicago? That
Yes.
sounds about right. All the all the pollution in Chicago is coming from the McDonald's lab.
That's literally insane. I don't understand how you could.
Oh man.
We went from goldfish to McDonald's just being chemically altered. Food is just always
Be
changing.
careful with your food, guys. Organic things are good and
Yes, but also
fresh food.
expensive, so it's kind of hard.
Yeah. And sometimes organic food lies. Sometimes it's not even organic, which sucks.
Or sometimes it's organic, but it's also like altered so that it's worse for you. So then they're like,
Yeah.
oh yeah, organically grown, but then it's like we also added all these chemicals.
If you ever see a fruit at the store that is not a normal fruit, like I went to the store once and I saw donut peaches. They were peaches, but they were like shaped like a blood cell, kind of like a donut.
What
Like
the
it wasn't like a full donut, but like it was like flat and pushed in the
so
middle,
like
right?
a jelly filled donut.
Yeah, but like the middle part was like flattened more, so it like bowed in, right, and dipped.
Yeah. Ugh.
It looked terrible. And yeah, if you see something like that, don't buy it because it's been chemically altered, and that's kind of terrifying. So don't do that. Don't hurt yourself even more.
Looking at them, you can buy them online. Why? Why?
Uh, uh, how do you buy them online? Produce online should
But
not.
actually, wait, this is saying that they're not genetically modified, that they're just there,
What?
that they're just a type of peach.
I don't know if I believe that.
The more I look at it, they're they're just a type of peach from China.
That's why.
It's descendant of a specific peach that grows in China. That's still kind of weird though that you can buy them online. Why does you should not be able to?
That's a little concerning.
I mean, there's some times that would make sense to buy stuff online, like with the like companies that send you like food, like that you make the meal, but it sends you all the stuff.
Yeah, that makes sense.
But even then, that's still kind of like you got to make sure that it's safe because like
It's got to be packaged right.
it's like warm food that's supposed to be kept cold, then you're like, nah, I'm out.
Yeah, that would be bad.
So yeah, but I don't know. Food is good. So make the most of it, but still be careful what you eat.
Be careful around any food.
You
Know what
are
you're
what
eating.
you eat.
Cannibalism.
Wait a minute. But I didn't. Oh no.
Oh man. Alrighty. Well, that's mostly it for our last topic that was like school and then school
Random.
food and
I'm
then
sorry.
McDonald's
I
and
couldn't
then
think of a good topic.
that was the most beautiful topic of all. The
Thank
one where
you.
we didn't have a topic and we just talked about
So,
engineered food. It
so yeah,
was amazing. So
that's
tread
the thing.
lightly, everyone.
Tread lightly. But what's the saying? What? Uh, It's fine. I don't remember.
Got milk.
Yes, got beef. No, beef. It's what's for dinner.
I'm loving it. But
Yeah.
also like I'm saying that I'm loving this podcast, you
I
see,
am loving it currently.
at this point in time. There we go. We saved it. We saved the day. I walked into that one. Uh,
Yeah. So,
turns out turns out we can't actually say the name McDonald's. We're not allowed to. We're gonna get
no,
sued.
I think that's allowed because it depends on context, I guess. But you could
That's
be
true.
saying Old McDonald's Farm is the restaurant where you get Big Macs. Or
Hmm. That's where they come from. They come from the
I mean, I'm not wrong.
cows.
Oh,
Uh,
unless you get a different type of burger, like with a different type of meat, mystery meat burger, squirrel and moose. Um, that one is that one's a doozy.
gotta love that squirrel moose burger.
Oh no.
Dang.
Ah,
This is scary.
this is a snowball that will not stop. So let's
It's
stop it right here.
not a bad idea. Alrighty. Well, I think that's all that we have to say, guys.
Mhm.
And as always, stay random.
Yes, stay random. Oh, and don't forget to check out our YouTube and Facebook. We'll have it linked.